Hello everybody. Welcome to the very first video on this manga channel of mine. I just kind of wanted to create a channel to kind of talk about manga just because it's been something that I've really been into for a very long time and I thought it would be fun to talk about, and I figured what better way to start off this channel than make a haul video showing you guys what I've gotten recently. So, without further ado, let's get going. I'm going to start off with the Shoujo Beat titles. We have We Were There Volume 4. I'm really into this series right now, and it's very unfortunate that it's kind of hard to find these days because I believe it's out of print, so it's kind of hard to find these for not a ridiculous price. But Barnes& Noble had Volume 4 in stock, so I went ahead and grabbed that. I also went ahead and got Vampire Knight Volumes 9 and 10. This were the last two that I needed to fill the gap in my Vampire Knight series, and so now I have the whole complete series of Vampire Knight. I'm very excited to reread this series because it used to be one of my favorites back in like middle school when I first found it. It was one of the first manga I ever read actually, and I'm very excited to read it as an adult because I honestly don't remember much about it, and I'm curious to see how it holds up over time. I'm curious to see if I'll like it as much as I did back then. But yeah, Vampire Knight Volumes 9 and 10. Matsuri Hino's artwork is just so stunning. Okay, next up, we have My Love Mix-Up Volumes 1 and 2. Volume 1 was actually gifted to me by a very good friend of mine who I've known for a very long time. He sent that to me, and I decided to get volume 2 because I don't like reading manga like just one volume at a time, just because, you get through them so fast. So I like to have at least a couple before I start reading it. So this looks super cute. I believe it's a BL, and I'm always looking for more BL to put on my shelf, so that will be great. All right, and then next up, very excited about these. I got Nana Volumes 1 and 2. Nana is a series that I've always been very curious about. Ever since I started reading manga, I've always been very curious about it, but I never ended up buying it back in the day. And then I believe it kind of went out of print and was kind of hard to find. So I never really had an opportunity to get into it, but since there has been some, like, reprints of it, it's actually possible to find it now for not ridiculous prices. So, yeah, Nana 1 and 2. And that pretty much completes the Shoujo Beat section of this haul. Okay, so this is probably like the thing I'm the most excited about in this whole haul, but I got some more Higurashi no Nakokoro ni, or Higurashi When They Cry. I got volumes 1 and 2 of the Cotton Drifting arc, as well as volumes 1 and 2 of the Curse Killing arc. Higurashi has always been a series that I absolutely love. I absolutely loved the anime growing up, and I've always wanted to read the whole manga. I've had the first 2 volumes for a very long time, but like a lot of series that I liked back in the day, the volumes went out of print for the longest time, but they recently came back into print, I believe, or restock or something. And so they're actually able to be found. I was able to find these on Barnes& Noble website. All these manga in this haul are from Barnes& Noble, by the way. I went a little Barnes& Noble crazy recently, but yeah, Higurashi, really amazing horror series. I feel like it's kind of underrated. I don't hear like a ton of people talking about it, especially people who are kind of just barely getting into manga like after the pandemic and stuff, which is a shame because it's such a good series that I think a lot of people would enjoy. And it's really interesting too because each arc in the series is done by like a different artist, so it's really interesting, and I'm just really excited to read and collect more of the manga and hopefully get the whole collection at some point. Okay, next up, these next 3 are just kind of things that I picked up on a whim. I was just browsing through Barnes& Noble and I just saw them and I thought they looked interesting, so I picked them up. This is Happiness Volume 1. It's obviously about vampires, and I really like vampires, so usually anything about vampires I'll try out, and I don't know, the art looked really interesting, so very excited to try that out. And I also got Blade of the Immortal Volumes 1 and 2 on a whim just because I was like, oh, these look really cool. These are the omnibuses. And I actually read the first one the other day, and it's actually really good. And the art is absolutely phenomenal. Oh, I don't know if I should. There's kind of some violent stuff in there, so I don't know how much I should show you. But yeah, the art is stunning, and the storyline is really interesting. So yeah, I'm really happy with this. Really excited to read the second one. Really interested in where the plot's going to go. It's kind of like a samurai revenge story. The only downside is when I was reading this, the spine kind of cracked a little bit, which is really obnoxious. Uh, and I'm not like rough on my spines or books when I read them either, but it still got a little bit of a crease, which is really sad for someone like me who likes their stuff in like pristine condition if possible. But yeah, so Blade of the Immortal, super awesome to have. All right, so next up we have some more BL, and it's I Hear the Sunspot. I got the first and the second volume of that. Always looking to have more BL in my collection, and it looks like a really sweet story, and the art looks really pretty. I was kind of confused at first on the order that these go in because they're not really clearly labeled like one, two, three, or whatever. But I figured it out eventually. So yeah, really excited to dive into this, and if I like it, I'll get the other like three or four in the series, I think. Next up, we have one that has a very interesting title. I Want to Eat Your Pancreas. At first, when I saw this in the bookstore and I saw that title, I was like, what in the world? But I think it's about a girl who has like either pancreatic cancer or some sort of disease that affects her pancreas. So that's where that title comes from, for anyone who's curious. But yeah, I heard a lot of people say a lot of good things about this series, and so I decided I might as well try it. Because it's only one volume, so really easy to get the whole thing. I've been really into getting like shorter series these days just because, manga is getting way more expensive than it used to be. And so the shorter a series is, the easier it is to collect, which is good in my book. Next up, we have a title that I'm a little bit nervous to read, honestly, just because there's a lot of controversy around this for whatever reason. But that is A Girl on the Shore by Inio Sano. It seems like people either really love this manga or absolutely despise it and think that it should not exist. um, so I'm not exactly sure why. It came wrapped in plastic when I bought it, so I'm assuming there is some explicit content, so I'm not sure if that's what people are upset about or whatever, but yeah, hopefully I'll like it, because if I don't, that's unfortunate, because it's not like the cheapest volume of manga ever. But yeah, Girl on the Shore. I really don't know what it's about. I just heard people talking about it, and I thought the cover was pretty, and I bought it on a whim. So yeah, there's that. And then the last volume of manga in this haul, thank you for sticking with me to this point. If you have, I appreciate it, is Twinkle Stars Omnibus Volume 1 by Natsuki Takaya, who is the same mangaka and creator of Fruits Basket. Believe it or not, I have actually never read Fruits Basket, which is really shocking considering it was one of the main big shoujos that people were into back when I was in middle school. But yeah, for whatever reason, I just never picked Fruits Basket up for one reason or another. But I've always wanted to read it, and I've always wanted to read something by Natsuki Takaya, just because she's a very popular shoujo mangaka, and I'm always looking to find more like shoujo mangaka because I love shoujo manga. And I've actually heard a lot of people like Twinkle Stars better than Fruits Basket, and it's just that Fruits Basket is just more nostalgic and iconic. So I'm very curious to try this one out. If I like it, I'll buy more of it, and then I'll eventually get Fruits Basket at some point. I will get Fruits Basket at some point, I promise, because it is one that I really want to read. But yeah, Twinkle Stars Omnibus Volume 1. So there we have it. These were my most recent manga pickups. Thank you very much to all of you who took the time to watch this video. I hope that you'll consider subscribing for future hauls and future just manga recommendations and discussions. I'm planning on doing monthly like wrap-ups to discuss like the different mangas that I've read and such. So yeah, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video.